Before we can start using XPath, we need to understand what it actually is. And XPath is a query language. It's going to allow us to search XML documents for nodes or specific elements. XPath has two types. We have absolute XPath and relative XPath. Absolute XPath starts at the root element of the document and searches through step by step looking for what you've put into the XPath. You'll notice in the example, it starts with 1 slash. When we talk about relative XPath, we put 2 slashes, and it's going to start searching from any point in the XML document based on what we have put in the search criteria. So if we were to think about this in the real world, let's say absolute XPath is you going to Google Maps, getting your turn-by-turn directions to get to your destination, whereas relative XPath would be more like parachuting right into your final destination. Now let's shift and take a look at a website so we can understand what this means to us. Anytime we are on a website, we have all of these different elements. Everything that you see here is a specific element. And the XPath is basically the address to that specific element. So if I were to click on, let's say, Amazon Basics, it's a specific path bringing us directly to that element. Now to quickly explain on an actual site the difference between absolute and relative XPath, what we can do is go back to our Amazon Basics, right-click, and we'll look at Inspect. And we'll see all of this pop up here. Absolute XPath is going to start from the very top here, and it's going to start searching all the way down until it finds exactly what we're looking for. Whereas if we use relative XPath, and let's say that we do the 2 slashes and div, it's going to jump right down to this section and search from there. So what we're looking at here is the HTML of this particular site. And what we'll see is that each time we hover over, it's going to identify the section on the actual web page. So this inspect element is going to be extremely helpful for you to find exactly what you're looking for when you're writing your XPath. Now let's take a look at the basic syntax of XPath. So when we're using relative XPath, we'll have our 2 slashes, and then we're going to enter our tag name. So it's going to bring us right to the tag or that node that we want to be in. And then in our brackets, when we use the @ sign, it's going to select a specific attribute, which we would enter its name here. We can use the equal sign, which means we are looking for a full match. It's exactly what we're looking for. And on the end here, this is going to be the actual value that we're looking for within that node. Now that we've talked about the very, very basics of XPath, I want to remind you of the resources available to you. Feel free to explore those so that you are ready and prepared